Ferrari arrived at Spa with a plan locked in weeks before the Grand Prix. Strip away the FTM device. The SF-26 was built around and chase straight-line speed instead. The FTM, short for flick-tail mode, is a small aerodynamic piece sitting just behind the exhaust exit that feeds hot exhaust gas into the underside of the rear wing, adding rear downforce specifically when the driver is on the throttle. It's a Ferrari innovation that's since been copied elsewhere on the grid. Alpine removed a similar element at Spa too, and the FIA has already confirmed it won't exist under 2027 regulations. Blanking off that section of the exhaust costs Ferrari roughly 7 horsepower, which matters at a track with some of the longest full-throttle zones on the calendar. Technical director Loic Serra signed off on removing the FTM specifically for Spa, and Ferrari tested the no FTM concept in advance with reserve driver Dino Beganovic running without the device in an earlier practice session. The floor and an evolution of the Macarena rear wing were the other two pieces engineers were juggling alongside it, aimed at balancing straight-line efficiency against cornering grip. Then practice started, and the data didn't cooperate with the plan. FP1 gave Ferrari real reassurance. Verstappen topped the session, the first time a non-Mercedes, non-Ferrari driver had topped a session all season, but Hamilton came second and Leclerc third, with both Ferraris ahead of both Mercedes cars and Antonelli only sixth. FP2 flipped the picture completely. Antonelli found nearly 2/10 on Norris to go fastest, with Verstappen third. Team principal Vasseur played the swing down afterward, pointing out that fuel loads distort Friday running, and he offered a more useful detail. On race pace long runs, Ferrari were around 20 km/h slower than some rivals on one straight and 20 km/h faster on another, not a flat deficit but a trade-off depending entirely on where the team chooses to deploy its battery. That reframes the whole question. If top speed wasn't actually the problem, the real issue was energy deployment, not drag. FP3 had been going well for Ferrari. Antonelli topped it again, with Hamilton fourth and Leclerc fifth, until Hamilton ran wide exiting the Faines chicane in the closing minutes and clipped the barrier with his right rear tire, snapping the rear suspension and damaging the wing in a crash almost identical to Pierre Gasly's in the same spot during Friday's session. His radio message was blunt: "I've destroyed the car, mate. Sorry." Ferrari has not said the crash influenced the FTM decision, but what a team checks after an impact like this includes tire temperatures, damper movement, throttle, and steering inputs, all cross-referenced against what the driver felt, regardless of whether it changes the final setup call. Hamilton himself said after qualifying that the rebuilt car didn't feel identical to how it had in FP3, specifically pointing to rear suspension balance, though some change in feel is expected given how rushed the repair was. From a pure engineering standpoint, losing a few kilometers per hour on paper doesn't automatically cost time on the stopwatch, and Spa is one of the clearest examples of why. Corners like Eau Rouge and Rydillen, taken essentially flat, demand total confidence in the rear tire, and a long fast corner like Pujon punishes a car that's sliding rather than gripping. More rear stability there means a driver can commit earlier and carry more speed through the exit. There's a tire management angle too. Less sliding through those corners means less thermal degradation over a race distance, and with only 2 significant braking zones on the entire lap, Spa rewards a driver who trusts what the rear of the car is doing almost everywhere else. None of this is happening in isolation. Ferrari's Miami and Barcelona upgrade packages are estimated to have added between 7 and 8/10 of a second compared to launch specification, and Norris said after Hamilton's Barcelona win that Mercedes was lucky Ferrari didn't have a better engine, because if they did, they'd be dominating. Ferrari's engine program is running in stages. The first ADU token was spent at the Austrian Grand Prix as a modest step, with a bigger turbocharger revision reportedly being held back for later in the season. The championship picture heading into Spa: Antonelli leads on 179 points, with Russell 25 points back in second after Antonelli's Silverstone mechanical failure, Hamilton third at 32 points back, and Leclerc fourth, 71 points back, after his own Silverstone win. In the constructors' standings, Mercedes leads on 333 points to Ferrari's 255, a 78-point gap that's been shrinking since Barcelona rather than growing. Qualifying at Spa didn't change much of that picture. Antonelli took pole, Verstappen was second, Norris was third on the road but starts 13th after a grid penalty that promotes Russell to the front of the second row, and Leclerc qualified fifth with Hamilton sixth. The question the weekend actually raises is whether Ferrari has built something closer to a genuine title package than expected at the start of the year, whether it can hold on to extra rear downforce and still stay competitive in a straight line. If keeping the FTM proves right on Sunday, it becomes one of the more important calls Ferrari has made all season, not because of the device itself, but because of what it says about how far the car has come.